So what we're looking at from today is we have Sid and Nicole going into some Wodapalooza qualifiers. We had Sydney touch on the pull-up, chest to bar, bar muscle-up piece yesterday. We kind of wanted to make sure that we got that one in early just in case she wanted to do that one again, so to let her hands grip kind of recover to allow her to possibly do that one again. Today on the docket we have the clean and jerk bar facing burpee workout along with the double under, hang power snatch, and overhead squat workout. The idea here with this one is that we want to make sure that we get those both in to allow her to have some quality training in the rest of the weekend, so we can kind of get them out of the way early so it just doesn't take up the whole weekend, and we can still kind of keep the idea of keep progressing Sid's training and still keep on the volume that we're trying to look at in terms of total training load for her there. And then Nicole is using this as a nice little piece to just kind of see where she's at and get herself back into the rhythm of what competing feels like after her back injury. So this is kind of like her first little test on herself, just kind of see where she's at. She's been just gradually ramping up and finally getting into some real workouts that we're hitting on the compete track at the RX volume. So this will be kind of just like a nice little benchmark for her. Not a lot of pressure on her for this one.
Nervous? Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm nervous.
Tell me your feelings.
You don't want to know all my feelings. We'll be here all day. No, I'm excited. I think it's going to be fun to like dust off the rust and just see where I am. So quarterfinals this last season was the last time I competed or did any kind of competition. Right before quarterfinals I broke my back, and so this is like the first competition I've done like just focus on the competition.
Excited? Are you nervous?
Yeah, man, I'm always nervous. But she's the one in the arena and she's fit, and this is really just a good test to just kind of see where she's at and just see where her nerves are, getting back into that competition feel. And you know, there's a little risk on this as far as how does it affect her season going into January. So, but it is good to kind of rev the engine up and have those nerves now so that we just get used to them again, because it has been a while since she's been in this kind of pressure-ish situation. So we get to just learn from it and then go from there.
Is the goal to actually go to Wodapalooza and qualify?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, just another opportunity for her to just get her feet wet back in that competition scenario. Our goal that we've kind of discussed is we just don't want semis to be the first time she's in a live competition again. So in order to do that though, she's got to qualify for these kind of higher level competitions just so we get that feel. So it's not new to her when we go back into it next season.
I'm a savage. Drop the classic. Thinking back. Drop the classic. To establish that the magic is automatic. Got a mask. Who was that? Living legend. Lethal weapon. Mastermind. Never tried. Tell them all. Big dreams, I got big dreams since like baby. I've been joining forces with the likes of an A-team. Jumping off of buildings used to be so stimulating. Now I'm reaching new heights, I'ma need the off-whites. Play with the fire, you get burned. All of my struggles became lessons well learned. I got his eyes, they keep me grounded, that's for sure. Cause one day we gon' make it out this earth, where's your worth? I'm sick of your talking, you got the wrong one. I'm taking your king and I leave him broken. If I am in second, it's after no one. Just give me a second to let them know. I'm the headline, the deadline. Big time. I'm a head time, the rare kind. Big time. I'm a living legend, lethal weapon, mastermind. Big time. The king is back.
It's worth it time-wise, like only 4 reps versus another whole break. You know, like doing 11 and 10.
Like you want to rest a little longer than you need to.
Yeah, so.
All right, first one went really well for Sid. We had a game plan. She stuck to it. She went out really hard, hung on, hit the reps that we were kind of expecting to see from each one. We definitely knew that this workout was going to be made in those first few rounds. And so that's where she just kind of went ham, went for it, and we feel really good. She's resting up a good amount now.
My thoughts on the out of season competition. There's certainly a place for it, right? Like I think a lot of athletes that are aspiring to make it to the games, it's very good for them to test themselves. It does put spanners in their progressions as they lead into in their off-season training or wherever they may be within the season. And ultimately, though, I think it's great. Generally speaking, that's where I think I'm more hesitant is more of the, the tier one athletes like, consistently make it to the games, where I think there needs to be a conversation there. And my big thing is it's very important for them to structure their season, allowing them to peak, succeed at the right time of their year. And if, for instance, right now we're in discussions of Wodapalooza. Wodapalooza is a great seasonal event, very consistent in like their qualifying process and then their competition. So some of these big established events, I can see that they've already added that into their season or in their calendar. I think where more of the discussion maybe is more of the intermediate size competition, is where just needs more foreplanning and needs more consideration. I'm not opposed to it by any means. I think at the end of the day, it's the athlete's decision, but I think it's just our job is to encourage them or help bring awareness of what their goals are and why we're training as well.
Felt pretty good. Cheers. It was quick. It was only 9 minutes. Like by the time you looked up, it was like, oh, I'm almost done. I think like I always just start out really fast and just try to hang on as long as possible, and so that usually favors like a shorter workout versus like a long workout where you start out fast and then you're like, oh shoot, I gotta hold this for a long time. Especially like getting back into working out and training, like I forget how to pace. So it's been fun like learning that again and starting to feel myself again in workouts and like recognize like, oh, okay, this is a comfortable pace, or I need to speed up or I need to slow down, whatever that is.
30 seconds. Have a rest. We're gonna do overhead squats. Everything unbroken from now. Come on.
One. Wait two. Wait three.
That's it. Come on. Yeah, girl. Woo! Oh God. Ugh. Stop that. Great job, Sid. You went.
That's good. Right where you said. Well, we had a goal in mind, and Sid literally hit it on the dot at the second mark. So I think we feel pretty good about just leaving that one where it's at. Definitely proud of the effort there, finishing that one up.
I think when you got to 21s and when you did your first break, I think that was a good time for it.
Smart.
Okay.
And I think you knew your breath was catching up to you
Yeah.
as well. So I think that was well executed.
Okay. You think?
Like,
You don't think it's
just
worth a redo?
No, I don't think so. I
I think it's gonna be right where you want
I'm
it.
proud of that one.
Yeah, I don't think there's much more I could do. Maybe like 3 overhead squats or something.
You were a good cycle rate on that.
Time frame wise, we've had a 9 minute. Let's call it 7.5. Let's call it 8 minutes.
Yeah.
9, 8. What was the third
The other
one?
one was like 2 on, 1 off for 5, so it ended up being about 15 minutes, but it still was 10 minutes if you're thinking about the time frame
Yeah,
of work. They're almost all exactly the same.
Yeah, true. They are the same.
Yeah. Same feel.
Hopefully we have like a long one with like wall balls.